At 69, I never imagined my life could shift so dramatically after losing my husband. Jack, my companion for over 40 years, passed away 3 years ago. Since then, the home where we created countless memories has felt hauntingly vacant. The laughter and lively discussions that once filled the rooms have been replaced by echoes of sorrow and silence. Each room is steeped in his absence, and every piece of furniture holds remnants of a joyful past, now almost too painful to bear. When Jack left, my family and friends enveloped me with their support and solace. They assured me that, with time, the pain would ease, believing that the passing days would mend even the most shattered hearts. Yet, their well-meaning predictions did not align with my experience. Each passing day seemed to deepen the chasm of loss. Time, instead of healing, magnified the emptiness. I found myself adrift on a sea of memories, unable to move forward or envision a future without him. Everyday moments became harsh reminders of his absence. The chair where he read, his beloved mug in the cupboard, and the garden he cherished all seemed to await his return, just as I did. Nights were the toughest. The oppressive quiet of the house, broken only by a ticking clock, made sleep elusive. I often spoke to his portrait, yearning for a response that never came. Despite everything, I continued to push forward, though each step felt heavier than the last. I rose each morning, performing routine tasks that lent an illusion of order to my days. In reality, I was living a ghostly existence. Physically present, yet my mind was anchored in a bygone era. Solitude had become a constant companion, but instead of providing comfort, it only intensified the emotional void that consumed me. Amidst this despair and weariness, the notion of change began to take root. At 69, I felt trapped between an unyielding past and a daunting future. Yet something, perhaps a survival instinct or a glimmer of hope buried deep within, urged me not to surrender. Unbeknownst to me, this seemingly simple shift would transform my life. In my solitude, one presence still accompanied me through my thoughts, an old photo of Jack, lovingly framed and placed on my bedside table. This portrait, with his gentle smile that once brightened my days, offered solace. Every evening, I sat on the bed's edge, gazing at his image as if, by some miracle, it might respond. It provided a fleeting comfort but also an incessant reminder of the void in my heart. Over time, this nightly ritual became unbearable. My silent conversations with Jack only heightened my isolation. Their house remained stubbornly empty, and the photo, though tender, could not fill the vast emptiness. Each glance at that frame trapped me further in a frozen past, making the present even harder to endure. Then, one day, overwhelmed by an intense wave of loneliness, I felt an urgent need to break this cycle. I could not continue living ensnared by memories and regrets. It wasn't a sudden epiphany, but a gradual realization born of sleepless nights and monotonous days. I needed to change something, however small, to breathe new life into my existence. The idea that surfaced seemed trivial at first but struck me with surprising clarity. Why not invite animals into my home? This was an option I had never previously considered. Jack and I had always admired animals, though we never shared our home with any. Our hectic lives had left little room for pets, and we chose instead to travel and see the world. But now, with a different life path ahead, the thought of welcoming animals into my home seemed promising. Opening my doors to pets felt like a way to fill part of the emptiness that had settled in my heart. I wasn't sure what to expect, but the hope that this choice might rekindle a spark in my life gave me the courage to proceed. It was a modest step, yet profoundly significant for me. This decision symbolized an embrace of a new future, one where I wouldn't be entirely alone. Without delay, I began exploring local animal shelters. Each picture of a cat or dog up for adoption made my heart race a little faster. In those innocent, sincere eyes, I hoped to find a source of solace. That day, a door I believed was shut forever creaked open slightly, allowing a flicker of hope to enter. Thus, I welcomed two unexpected companions into my life. Tom, a spirited orange cat, and Jerry, a Labrador with eyes brimming with kindness and loyalty. During my shelter visit, their presence immediately caught my attention. Tom, nestled in a corner of his cage, watched visitors with quiet curiosity. Meanwhile, Jerry stood with a graceful stance, gently wagging his tail as if to comfort those around him. Despite their differences, a unique harmony seemed to connect them. Bringing them home, the first day was filled with cautious exploration. Tom investigated every corner with the precision of a detective, while Jerry followed me closely, attentive to my every move. Their presence, though subtle at first, instantly altered the house's atmosphere. The oppressive silence I had grown accustomed to was replaced by soothing, comforting sounds. The gentle click of Jerry's paws on the floor and Tom's soft purrs as he settled on the couch filled the space. Initially, they simply shared my space without much interaction. But gradually, things began to shift. Tom, with his playful nature, started approaching me more often, sometimes curling up in my lap for attention. His calming purr seemed to resonate with my troubled thoughts, as if he understood my struggles. Jerry, on the other hand, had an almost human-like way of looking at me. His deep, kind gaze made me feel understood in a way few others could. These two companions seemed to be in tune with my soul. On particularly challenging days, when tears streamed down my face, they were always there. Tom, with his soft fur and graceful demeanor, would nestle beside me, offering comfort through his presence. Jerry would gently lay his head on my knees, watching me with endless patience. Their presence during my moments of sorrow was almost therapeutic. With them, I felt seen, heard, and most importantly, understood. Although they couldn't speak, their silent communication had a depth I couldn't ignore. They became more than just pets, they were my confidants, my allies in the fight against loneliness. Every gesture seemed intentional, as if their purpose was to bring vibrancy back into my life. Through their eyes, I began to perceive the world anew. They taught me to live in the present, to savor small joys, and most importantly, to never feel alone again. Their unconditional love was a balm for my aching heart, a beacon of light in the darkness that had enveloped me since Jack passed. Every morning, a new routine unfolded thanks to my two companions. Jerry, ever faithful and full of energy, joined me on my morning walks to the park. The moment I reached for his leash, he would bounce with excitement, eager for our daily adventure. These simple yet cherished moments evolved into a steadfast ritual. With Jerry beside me, he walked with pride, his curiosity about the world never waning. Occasionally, he'd pause to sniff a flower, listen to a bird's song, or greet a passerby. Our bond, forged through the leash in my hand and his paws on the path, was a true exchange, a silent conversation between two souls seeking solace. Meanwhile, Tom, the more domesticated of the pair, preferred to stay home. His favorite perch was the living room windowsill, a perfect vantage point for observing the birds flitting about the garden. His intense gaze tracked their every move, and sometimes he'd emit a soft meow, perhaps expressing excitement or a desire to join their aerial ballet. This spectacle was a shared delight, a tranquil distraction that brought joy to both of us. Over time, these routines, though simple, became the cornerstones of my daily life. Strolls with Jerry reconnected me with the outside world, nature, and people. I began to recognize familiar faces at the park, joggers, walkers, and fellow dog owners. Our brief exchanges added a touch of human warmth I hadn't felt in ages. Tom, in his own way, infused the house with vitality. His indoor adventures and playful antics often brought a smile to my face, and I found myself laughing more than I had in a long time. These moments helped me rediscover a sense of tranquility, an inner peace I feared was lost forever. Each day, I uncovered forgotten sensations. The morning breeze's gentle caress, the delicate scent of flowers, and even the soothing crunch of leaves underfoot. Jerry and Tom, each in their own way, encouraged me to reconnect with these simple pleasures. Time, once stagnant in heavy monotony, now flowed with a near-joyful ease. The house, once marked by oppressive silence, now resonated with comforting, familiar sounds. The click of Jerry's paws on the floor, Tom's light leaps during play, or Jerry's joyful barks as he romped in the garden infused the space with newfound energy. It was no longer just a house, it had transformed back into a home, a place of life, love, and sharing. Thanks to them, my life regained its balance. They were more than just animals. They became the guardians of a newfound serenity, my heart's companions in this new chapter of life. As time passed, even my neighbors noticed the change in me. "You seem happier," they often remarked with a smile. Those simple, sincere words struck a chord with me. They were right. A spark of happiness, which I believed extinguished forever, had gradually rekindled in my life thanks to Tom and Jerry. These two companions weren't merely by my side. They became the catalyst for a profound transformation. Tom, with his mischief and independence, infused the house with vibrancy. His antics, whether knocking over a cushion in a playful burst or meowing with regal insistence for his meal, captured my attention. His presence reminded me that even in solitude, a simple interaction could brighten a day. Jerry, in contrast, provided a steady presence with his calm and unwavering loyalty. Ever ready to listen, he shared in my moments of joy and sorrow. His gentle, soulful eyes seemed to promise that he would always be there. These two souls, distinct yet complementary, taught me a fundamental truth: life continues after loss. Of course, Jack's absence still weighed heavily on my heart, and some days melancholy resurfaced. But thanks to Tom and Jerry, I found a way forward. They showed me that love and comfort can appear in unexpected ways, in forms we might never anticipate. A gentle purr, a knowing glance, or a stroll through nature were all reminders that life still held precious moments. It wasn't just my personal well-being that improved, my outlook on the world transformed as well. Venturing out with Jerry and engaging with neighbors revealed the kindness and support humanity could offer. Interactions with fellow pet owners and even strangers at the park rekindled my belief in the beauty of human connections. It's remarkable how animals, by bridging gaps between people, can spark shared joy. Today, I face the future with renewed optimism. Every day brings reasons for gratitude, whether it's a sunbeam filtering through the window or Jerry's playful antics in the garden. Jack is still missed, but I know he would have delighted in seeing me like this. He would have cherished this lively home, the smile on my face, and the laughter I thought I'd lost forever. Tom and Jerry haven't replaced Jack, but they have filled a vast void, transforming my grief into hope. They've given me an invaluable gift, the rediscovery of happiness, step by step. Reflecting on the past, I realize how improbable this transformation seemed just a few years ago. At 69, after Jack passing, I believed my life was trapped in a cycle of solitude and memories. Every item in the house seemed to echo his absence. Each day was a silent battle against the heavy emptiness. Yet, against all odds, a new chapter unfolded, thanks to two souls as unexpected as they were vital, Tom and Jerry. These companions are more than just animals. They symbolize resilience, adaptation, and renewal. Their presence taught me that rebuilding is always possible, no matter how deep the wounds or how dark the past. Their unconditional love and companionship not only comforted me but also restored my confidence in the future. They ignited a flame in parts of my heart I thought had been extinguished forever. With them, the house transformed. It was no longer a place filled with painful memories, it had become a home once more, vibrant and welcoming. Silence gave way to soothing sounds. The purring of Tom, the click of Jerry's paws on the floor, and even the gentle noise of their playful spats. These sounds, far from being trivial, remind me daily that I am no longer alone. But that's not all. Thanks to them, I've rediscovered the simple joy of living in the present. Whether on a morning walk in the park or watching Tom play with a ball, I've learned to savor moments and appreciate the little things life offers. Animals have this extraordinary ability to live fully, unburdened by the past or future. Their example has shown me a new approach to life, one filled with lightness and gratitude. I often think of Jack during these moments of newfound happiness. He was a loving man, and I'm certain he would have been overjoyed to see this house brimming with laughter and life. Sometimes, I sense his presence, like a comforting whisper, urging me to continue on this path. It's not that he has been replaced, that would be impossible, but his absence has been softened by the warmth and love Tom and Jerry bring. Today, I view the future with renewed clarity. The years I have left are a gift, and I intend to live them to the fullest. It's not a dramatic rebirth, but a series of small daily victories, a journey taken one step at a time. To those facing similar challenges, I would say, never underestimate the power of simple things or the impact love, even from an animal, can have on a life. Tom and Jerry have given me a second wind, and for that, I am eternally grateful.